Well, voters in France stunned President Emmanuel Macron, we assume, with a historic defeat in the first round of voting for a new parliament. His centrist party finished third behind supporters of the left and the right, with a far right-wing party led by Marine Le Pen taking first place. Now, the second and final round of voting takes place next Sunday. Elaine Cobb has more from Paris.
Far-right leader Marine Le Pen said her party virtually wiped out President Emmanuel Macron's centrist power base. That after her National Rally party took a third of the vote in Sunday's first round of parliamentary elections. President Macron called these snap elections, hoping to rally voters against the far right.
President Macron made a colossal error of judgment.
Professor Douglas Weber says Macron may have to share power with the National Rally Party. It is anti-immigration, wants to roll back the power of the European Union and has threatened to pull France out of NATO. Party President Jordan Bardella wants to pull back support for Ukraine if he becomes Prime Minister.
This would be a very good result for Vladimir Putin. It would be a very bad result for Ukraine.
Thousands of left-wing supporters gathered in central Paris to voice their concern at the far-right performance. The far right has been surging across Europe. Should it win in France, a warning.
There will be a vacuum at the heart of Europe, and no one or no other group of countries could conceivably fill the role that's historically been played by France and Germany. And that's, of course, the main reason why so many people, so many observers are extremely worried.
The decisive final round is next Sunday. Macron has called on voters from across the political spectrum to block the far right.
So Elaine is joining us now to talk a little bit more about these early results. And just to sort of clarify for an American audience that after this election is over, Macron will still be the president. These are parliamentary elections, so he would be working with a different prime minister. And it looks like now a prime minister who is not from the same party as him. He did this to himself. He called the snap election. Elaine, remind us how we got to this point.
Anne-Marie, it was because 3 weeks ago, Europe-wide elections showed a move to the far right, including in France, where Marine Le Pen's National Rally Party did very well, and where Macron's party did not do well. And so he said, everyone was expecting a government reshuffle, and he just said, no, I am dissolving the parliament. I'm sending it back to the people. You tell us what you want. And it seemed clear he was hoping that France would say, OK, we need to stop the far right. But many of the voters that we spoke to here yesterday and during the week said, we also want a change from Macron. We are not happy. We don't feel that his government has listened to us. People have been concerned about their loss of spending power, that pension protests badly damaged his image, and there's an increasing feeling that the president is just more isolated from the people.
So the next round of voting happens on July 7th, and there's some question as to everyone's off on summer holidays, so how many people are actually going to participate in the process, you know, is sort of up in the air. But this could have sort of wider implications, even beyond France. And you kind of touched on it a little bit in your story. You know, how could this shift things in France politically and beyond?
In France, the president is going to have to deal almost certainly with either an extreme right government who would not share his ideals, or with an ad hoc mix of the left, the centre, and some of the conservatives who did not want to go with the far right. And either way, it's what the French call a cohabitation, and it will involve a lot of negotiating every time they want anything. The extreme right, if it has a government, will definitely want to block many issues. They've already threatened to pull out of NATO, and that is going to make life much more complicated and lead to a lot of political instability within France. Now, France and Germany have been the power couple in the EU, and Germany is embroiled in domestic issues at the moment, so France has very much been stepping up to the plate instead. So if Macron is busy and distracted by domestic politics as well, it will leave this vacuum, and that worries people. And of course, Marine Le Pen has been cozying up to Vladimir Putin. She has said on many occasions that she admires him and admires how he works. And certainly this would be good news for him.
All right, Elaine Cobb, thank you very much.